Iran war. With that, we're now going to shift our focus. Following days of anticipation, the center has finally hiked retail selling prices of petrol and diesel in 4 metro cities. The hike, effective from Friday, that's today, is the first in 4 years for retail consumers. Price of CNG has also been raised by 2 rupees. Before this hike in retail fuel prices, the prices of premium petrol were raised in March. All the 3 major oil companies, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Bharat Petrol Corporation Limited and Hindustan Petrol Corporation Limited, had raised the prices of premium petrol and diesel. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also urged citizens to conserve fuel, work remotely, and said it would reduce India's foreign outflows and save forex reserves. Let's also now take a comparative look at fuel price hike in India versus in other parts of the world. Let's start first with comparison with China. While the hike in fuel prices in India has been by 3 rupees per litre after the Hormuz Strait closure, which is roughly a 3.5% hike, China, on the contrary, has seen a 10 to 15% hike by 0.08 to 1.2 yuan per litre. Let's move on to what Japan has done. Japan again has increased by 15 to 20% fuel prices, 25 to 35 yen per litre hike we've seen in Japan as well. In the US, 0.7 to 0.9 dollar per gallon of gas. That's 18 to 22% hike in gasoline prices in the United States. UK, 0.45 to 0.5 pound per litre hike, which is roughly 35 to 40% hike in fuel prices in the United Kingdom. 0.4 to 0.5 pound per litre increase in the UK. 35 to 40% is the increment there. In Germany as well, 0.35 to 0.45 euro per litre is the price hike, again 30 to 35%. So you can see, viewers, most countries have increased the prices of fuel, gasoline from 10 to 35%, all the major countries, economies in the world, whereas in India the price hike has been much less in comparison. Let's go across now to Vijay Sardana, economist, who's joining me in the conversation. Mr. Sardana, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Very good morning as well. What do you think has been able to preserve India, protect India from seeing this kind of a rise that other parts of the world have seen, an increase anywhere from 10 to 35% in fuel prices, while India has seen a much less increase in comparison in fuel prices?
This is pure politics, because government is postponing the economic crisis. They are only shifting the challenge from, instead of addressing today, to the future date, because end of the day you have to pay the price from the market. Now if you are buying, I will say that least increase in price is in Russia, that is 14%. And they all are crude exporters. When the producers themselves are increasing the price to 14 to 25, 30%, India is just increasing the price by 2 to 3%. Technically it makes no sense. So only thing what we are trying to do is we are doing politics with the economy, and sooner or later you will find that government will further increase the price. Otherwise, government has to cut down on all welfare schemes, all capital investments, everywhere. Ultimately, country will suffer.
Mr. Sardana, are you foreseeing that prices in fuel are going to rise further in India as well, and a staggered increase in prices is what the government is aiming at?
Government is giving bad news in installments. So this is first installment of 3 rupees. Maybe after every 2 weeks you will find 3 rupees increase. So you cannot afford to sell a product below the cost of production for too long. Either government has to increase the price or virtually sacrifice all the revenues which they generate from selling petroleum products, because international market is not going to come down so drastically so soon. So it is a choice for the government whether they should play a fair economic policy or they do politics with economy.
All right, do you expect state governments to take some measures as well to ease the burden on the consumers by at least reducing the VAT prices if possible?
Governments are anyway short of funds or bankrupt. For their own survival, they borrow. So when they are, one of the major source of income is VAT or excise duty, which comes from various central and state collections. If you compromise on that also, then how they will ensure their development plans and pay for their own agenda. So there is no option. See, best part of the market is you pay what the market is expecting and play a fair game. All these gimmicks are not good for India. It is painful, I know it, common man will suffer, but they will suffer more when the welfare schemes are closed down, when you have a broken roads, when your capital investments are down. Today you may survive with low cost of fuel, but future will become dark.
All right, sure. But what do you think is it that the government can do to protect the consumers? Because we're seeing everywhere in the world, countries have increased the prices. The government has only increased in India by 3.5% so far. Is there anything else that you expect the government to have done to ensure that the burden on the consumers is lessened?
Government has to improve their economic performance. Make in India is not delivering what it should expect. So problem is not in fuel prices. Problem is that rest of the economic sectors are not delivering as per expectation. If we make suppose money in exports, then I can subsidize domestic crude prices. But problem is we are import dependent country. Our export is less than our imports. So we don't have funds to subsidize. So only option with government of India is focus on economic growth and performance, earn more money by improving exports. Once you earn more money in international market, that surplus money you can use either for welfare scheme or subsidizing crude or petrol or whatever they want to do. But unless you have a money, you can't do anything. So government of India should disclose what are their action plans to increase the revenue of government of India. Then we will know whether there is a plan for the government or not.
Hormuz Strait is concerned, yesterday Trump and China have also given out a statement to work together for a free flow of energy through the strait to open the blockade that's there. Do you expect any significant outcome after this summit, or do you think if anything would have had to happen by China, it would have been done by now?
Because now Iran says that Hormuz is a sovereign territory. They would like to earn, because when you destroy some country or their infrastructure, how they will rebuild? They need revenue. So either America pays $500 billion to Iran and says, okay, we will compensate for all the damages and you open up the Hormuz. Otherwise, Iran needs some source of funding to upgrade their damaged infrastructure. So the only option is toll at Hormuz. So it is a logical thing what Iran is doing. This is unfortunate that rest of the world is suffering because of stupidity of American and American leadership. So the world is suffering. As far as China is concerned, China is not bothered because China is a close friend of Iran. China has a supply from Venezuela, China has a supply from Russia, China will buy from Iran and all lot of Middle East countries. And in return, China can always export products to Iran and build their power plants and all the damaged infrastructure. So China is nothing to worry, and it is America is on the back foot and they don't know what to do with this now.
Right. Thank you very much then, Mr. Sardana, for joining us and for speaking to us on this. Viewers, once again, as you can see on your screens, the prices of petrol in India and diesel as well, fuel prices have been raised now by approximately 3 rupees, a 3.5% hike across the country. Different cities have seen different changes in prices, with Bengaluru right now retailing petrol and diesel at the highest price.